Hey folks, Cam Rogers here for Chat Sports, going through all of the latest injuries out there in the NFL, getting you guys ready for Week 4. Let's take a look at LeSean McCoy to start things off. He has been dealing with some rib cartilage injuries, which really doesn't sound all that pleasant, but McCoy sounds awfully confident he'll play Sunday against the Green Bay Packers, but Sean McDermott has been, shall we say, on the fence about LeSean McCoy's availability for Sunday. He usually does not reveal too much in terms of injuries. This is no exception here, but McCoy sounds pretty confident that he will play this week for the Buffalo Bills. He said that he watched the Bills beat the Vikings last week, and it was really hard for him to do so. This week's chomping at the bit, and it looks like he could be good, but be sure to watch out for his status on Sunday morning. Meanwhile, AJ Green, he is good to go. Had been dealing with a bit of a groin injury. There is some concern that maybe he could re-aggravate it, something like a hamstring injury where sometimes it can pop back when you are playing. But in terms of his availability for this Sunday against the Atlanta Falcons, AJ Green will be fine. He's been practicing fully, so he is a full go for the Cincinnati Bengals in a game that should be a shootout, by the way. The Atlanta Falcons have some injuries at the safety position, so AJ Green should feast on that secondary this week. Meanwhile, the newly acquired Josh Gordon for the New England Patriots firmly up in the air in terms of his availability against the Miami Dolphins this week. So 2 points of adversity for Gordon, dealing with the hamstring, and also he's got to learn the New England Patriots playbook. And one of the more complex playbooks out there, by the way, the offense that Josh McDaniels employs. So the Patriots, they usually are pretty quiet in terms of injuries. Of course, Josh Gordon will probably not be fully 100% active, and we all know until Sunday morning. So keep that in mind here, but it looks like Gordon has a shot at playing for the New England Patriots this week. All right, let's talk about JuJu Smith-Schuster. He did miss some practice time this week due to an abdomen injury, but he'll be fine this week against the Baltimore Ravens. It's a big-time matchup on Sunday Night Football. He's going to be good to go despite some missed practice time. It was more of a recovery type situation than anything else. JuJu Smith-Schuster leads the AFC in scrimmage yards. James Conner, by the way, his teammate at the running back position, second in the AFC in scrimmage yards. So those two will be big-time factors against the Baltimore Ravens. Not good news, though, for Jack Doyle. Does not look like he will be playing at the tight end position for the Colts this week. It's very unlikely he plays within the next couple of weeks now, because he has been dealing with this really bad hip injury here. So for Jack Doyle, you likely won't see him on the football field against the Houston Texans. Maybe you have to look towards mid to late October for the next time you actually see Jack Doyle on the football field. Leonard Fournette logged a full practice today, so that is very important for his hopes to be playing this Sunday for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He has not played since Week 1 against the New York Giants, but all signs point to him playing this week. Of course, TJ Yeldon is there as well, so the backfield is pretty solid for the Jacksonville Jaguars, even if they miss out on Leonard Fournette this week, but it looks like the Jaguars will have his services. So good news there for Leonard Fournette and for you fantasy owners out there as well. Interesting situation with Keenan Allen here. He is dealing with some soreness in his knee right now, has missed multiple practices this week, and Keenan Allen is no stranger to the injury report either. So if he can't go, it's going to be more of Tyrell Williams and Mike Williams. They'll see larger roles in the passing game. The Chargers take on the San Francisco 49ers this week, a team that's dealing with a lot of injuries in that secondary. Jaquaski Tart, Adrian Colbert, Richard Sherman, they're all dinged up right now. So if you're the Chargers, you're probably not going to rush Keenan Allen into this game this week, especially considering Mike Williams is playing well. You got some good pieces on that offense. No need to rush Keenan Allen into the fray. So, of course, you guys are tracking all these injuries for fantasy purposes, I would assume, as well. So go ahead and play on FanDuel. FanDuel.com/chatsports is the way to go. You got to use that link. That's how you get the $20 for free when you deposit $5. So $5 in, $20 right there for free, $25 in total. Be sure to DM me on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99, and you can play in my FanDuel game this week. Go ahead and take me down. DM me for more. All right, let's talk about Alshon Jeffery because it looks like he should be go. He did miss Thursday's practice due to an illness. That was the big-time concern there. Everybody was like, whoa, he missed practice. What's going on? Well, Alshon Jeffery, it's okay. He'll be fine. It was just a short-term little illness type situation. He will be playing for the Philadelphia Eagles this week, an Eagles team that desperately needs help at the wide receiver position. Nelson Agholor has been the #1 guy the last couple of weeks because, well, Mike Wallace has been dealing with an injury as well. So really happy news there for Eagles fans to see Alshon Jeffery likely back into the starting lineup. The Eagles take on the Titans this week, and Jay Ajayi is going to try to play through this back fracture that he is dealing with. He has practiced in a limited capacity so far this week. Even if he does play against the Titans, he's still a fairly big fantasy risk out there. You really don't know about his overall workload. Could see a lot more Darren Sproles and Clement rather than Jay Ajayi, even if he is active. So keep that in mind there. He'll try to play, try to battle through this back fracture throughout the season, but we shall see on Sunday morning his official designation. Jimmy Graham did miss some practice this week. He is fine. He was held out of practice on Wednesday, more due to a maintenance type situation. He was just recovering and all of this from typical football wear and tear, if you will. So Jimmy Graham is fine for this week against the Buffalo Bills. Go ahead and watch him as a Packers fan out there or an NFL fan in general and play him in fantasy as well with confidence. How about Aaron Rodgers? It's quite clear he is not 100%, ladies and gentlemen, but of course he will be playing this week against the Buffalo Bills. He practiced today, reportedly looked very good, much better than a week ago. The Packers are coming off a loss to the Washington Redskins in a game where Aaron Rodgers did not look like himself. So when you watch Aaron this week, be sure to track how he looks and how he moves and how his mobility really is, because that's the calling card for Aaron Rodgers, going outside the pocket and making those plays happen. Devonta Freeman is firmly up in the air. He's been practicing in a limited fashion, which is, of course, good news, but his status for Sunday is very 50-50. It would not be shocking to see the Falcons hold this guy out for another week when you have a running back like Tevin Coleman, who is very much capable of having a full-on running back workload. There's no reason to rush Devonta Freeman into the starting lineup. So likely out this week, could be good to go, though, for Week 5. So keep that in mind there for the Atlanta Falcons. Doug Baldwin could see his first NFL action of the season. He's been practicing in a limited capacity so far this week. He's been dealing with an MCL injury. There was some worry that maybe he was going to deal with a knee injury the entire season. Doug Baldwin has expressed confidence that he feels good to go. Pete Carroll has been more of the on-the-fence side of things, saying, well, we'll see on Sunday morning. So keep that in mind in terms of Doug Baldwin. He could be active, but he could be more of a decoy than anything else. Very small workload just to distract opposing defenses out there. And then Marcus Mariota, he is a full go. He is starting this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. He had been dealing with some numbness, some tingling in his throwing hand. That seems to have subsided, so Marcus Mariota will be a full-on go for the Titans. Much welcomed as well, because Blaine Gabbert, definitely not as good as Marcus Mariota there. So the Titans will have their starting quarterback this week against the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so to summarize here, Rodgers, he'll be fine. He will be playing. A.J. Green, the same thing with him. Josh Gordon, questionable. Not really sure about him yet. Wait for him on Sunday morning. JuJu Smith-Schuster, he'll be fine. He's going to play. Jack Doyle likely will not play, and probably not for the next couple of weeks. Leonard Fournette, with that full practice today, sounds like he will play this week for the Jaguars. Keenan Allen is a guy to track. Very much up in the air. He's been missing some practices. Alshon Jeffery will be fine. He'll play this week for Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi is questionable in my eyes. We'll see if he is fully on active on Sunday, and if he is, Still bear in mind his workload could be small. Jimmy Graham, he'll be fine, all good for him. Meanwhile, Devonta Freeman, 50-50 type situation with him. I'm leaning towards him not playing on Sunday. Be sure to monitor his status. Doug Baldwin's going to try to give it a go. We'll see if he gets that active designation on Sunday. And then Marcus Mariota will get the start for the Tennessee Titans. I'm Cam Rogers for NFL Daily. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. Rogers99 for more.